Hunter, I told you that there would be a thing for you. The thing has arrived.
Excellent.
Fulcher Industry sent techs and parts to fix your Highlander and would like to offer you a job opportunity.
Go on.
I thought you might say something like that. There is a Donegal Guards RCT, Regimental Combat Team, within the Lyran Commonwealth Armed Forces. They are traditionally Scots-Irish, one of the most decorated units. Every time it's been totally wiped out, which has happened twice, it's been rebuilt from scratch. They are fans of yours. And the Donegals, like a major in the Donegal Guards, has indicated that they're looking forward to your entry into the Class 6. And so Fulcher would like to act as a sort of middleman to enthusiastically encourage you to speak well of the Donegal Guards, and also maybe try to sell them on Fulcher's refurbished lines of recovered Lyran mechs.
I'm just writing all this down so I don't forget it.
Okay. Now, for the folks at home, it's apparently 100 degrees where Gleemo's at, so he's gonna be a little spicy hot. Yeah, by the way, your camera could move to your left shoulder by about 20%, and maybe up a little bit as well. I know we're probably gonna have to do it again for Cyberpunk tomorrow. Tomorrow I have Solaris Nights, my new D&D game, and then Cyberpunk.
How's this?
A little bit more over your left shoulder. Yep, there you go. Good.
Perfect.
Sure you don't want to get like a tartan sash, a kilt, earmuffs? I hear that Irish weather is cold this time of year. sorry, Scottish weather is cold.
I was telling AP before we started recording, I'm going to be perfectly cosplaying someone who's in a TSM mech that's going to be overheating. Okay, so Fulcher wants to act as the middleman, wants me to speak highly of the Donegals and to speak highly of Fulcher's refurbished Lyran mech line.
Yep.
I can do that.
Okay. Is there anything else you want to do?
Yes.
Oh, have you been called to the office to speak to teacher yet?
I have not been called to the office to speak with the teacher.
You have been called to the office to speak to the teacher.
Okay.
She wants to question you about the events of that evening.
I will go see Miss Elizabeth.
All right. Elizabeth is seated behind her desk. She looks well. There have been so few controversies lately. Minimal amounts of murder. Most of the bad people have been ejected from the stable. You did notice that Kyle and Amos have been spending an awful lot of time together, and they've also been disappearing off base for long periods of time.
Oh, that can't be good.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like it. I mean, you already know that Amos is definitely working for the mob. And, you know, with all these changes, it's hard to tell what he could be up to. So, Elizabeth says, I'd like to ask you a few questions, Fritz. Can you tell me...
I'd prefer Hunter these days.
Okay. Mr. MacGreggor, can you tell me if you witnessed any physical violence between Buck and Cosmo?
Certainly not.
And what about the reports that a gladiator pulled a gun and a gun was held to the head, a loaded firearm was held to the head of another gladiator by a gladiator?
Seems like something I'd remember if it had happened.
So, did it or did it not happen?
I do not recall seeing anything like that.
Okay. Now, just to remind you, it actually did happen.
Yes.
All right, so you are lying.
I am lying.
Okay, she looks very disappointed. I'm gonna need your signature on those statements here.
I signed that I didn't see anything.
Okay. You can go.
I think Hunter will go across the hall to Zuri's office.
All right. Zuri's office has been replaced by photos of all of the gladiators. She is drinking straight from the bottle with her feet up on her desk, which is a little different than normal for her. And she says, "Oh, Hunter, how's it going?"
Well, very well, actually. I wanted to thank you for getting me my license for Class 6.
Yeah, Class 6. Big move today, bud.
I'm ready to put on a good showing. I was wondering if you had any advice for me.
Make good choices in your life.
Well, it's been a interesting road of choice that's gotten me here, but how about you?
Yeah, my boss was shot in the head last night.
Hunter
Yeah, I don't know.
closes the door, sits down, pulls out his own flask, and says, "Well," like the fake accent drops like completely. It's like, "Okay, are you okay? Are any of the rest of us targets?"
I don't know. I think it was Amos, Ivan. I think he killed him.
I thought we were done with this.
I think Ivan's going to take out anybody who knows who he is. That's you. That's me. Does anybody else know?
That's the entire stable. Everybody knows who he is.
She reaches under her desk and tosses a revolver onto the desk and says, "You got to protect yourself. And I'm not saying you got to get him first, but I don't know. I'm thinking of calling in some favors."
Hunter kind of just slides the gun back across the desk.
No, it's clean. Serial number's filed off. You're going to want that.
I feel like you probably need it more than I do.
She says, "That's a spare."
All right. So Hunter,
Good. Now we've got Fiasco game. A gun
Yes.
is in play.
Yes.
And Amos is trying to kill us is on the table.
yes, we have just hit the tilt.
Good. Because Kyle and Amos are like, "Yep, we've tied up every loose end. Surely there's no one else we need to tell or inform about this." And I was like, "Damn, y'all forgot about like everybody.
Uh-huh.
Ain't nobody know about your plans."
Okay. Hunter has kind of leads over the table and says, I mean, I know you don't know the answer, but how much trouble are we all in? Like, should we be...
I think Ivan is a violent psychopath. I mean, I've always known that. It's what made him perfect for this job. But, you know, now he's the mad dog that's biting the hand that feeds him.
Okay. Well,
you know how it is. He's probably just trying to protect himself. And that means killing everybody that knows. I'm not about to get got.
I understand.
Yeah, and I have to tell you, I think he's working with Kyle.
Morgan?
Yeah.
What the hell would Morgan need with mob money? His parents are loaded.
I have associates, and they say the two of them have been spending a lot of time together, going to traditional family restaurants. And I don't mean the kind of family restaurant where the kid sits down with the crayons and scribbles on a menu.
I see.
They've been meeting with people together. I think that Ivan is pressuring Kyle, and the two of them are cleaning things up.
Well, that's something.
What's your read on Kyle? Is he going to come after me?
He's a stone cold businessman. For the longest time, I thought that he was just, this was his rich playboy thing, that, he was hanging out in the, shooting mechs, but I don't know now. Like, this seems very out of character for a trillionaire playboy.
So she pulls out a beer and pops the cap on the side of her desk so the cap goes flying somewhere in her office, and she goes, I'll get that later. Look, it's actually worse than that, because if Kyle's involved, that means he can order around his little clan pet. That's half the stable's gladiators. People with access to a lot of weaponry, a lot of influence and power. I think we need to protect ourselves from them. And we might need to consider striking first. I know people. I have associates. You let me know what your read on the situation is, but I think you need to rally the other gladiators into some kind of self-defense force.
Mech techs versus clan and mafia? I'm not sure that's going to go the way that you want it to.
Look. You know the play. The curse is real, right? You don't even have to take them out here. What if something happens to their engines while they're on the field? They stack pull.
Let me see what Kyle and Cosmo's read is on this.
Not Kyle.
Sorry, Hillbilly and Cosmo's read is on this.
Okay. Well, I can tell you what Hillbilly's read is going to be, that everything should be all up to freedom and nothing should change and everyone is self-determinist. Teamwork. Well, say that right up until Seth Ghostbear walks up behind him with a Clan las pistol. Just takes him out.
Well, we'll see if we can get our own team together.
Okay. Well, I'm glad I can count on somebody here.
Thank you for letting me know what shit's going down.
Well, yeah.
All I'm getting from Elizabeth is questions about, did Buck punch Cosmo in the face? Like,
did Buck punch Cosmo in the face?
I have no idea, but I don't give a shit if he did.
Look, Elizabeth's nice, but she's corporate. She works for the board. Those of us down here, we have real problems to solve.
Sounds like it. Let me ask you, what's your read on Roe?
That dude's cracked. you know, he you know, I went to universities on Tharkat, actually did a semester at the Nasal Ring. Human psychology, sociology, that sort of thing. Ro is either light years ahead of me or way behind me, and I am really not sure which one it is. Whatever the clan's philosophy on life is has shaped his view into something that's not really human. That guy is really, really creepy. But he is exceptionally good at predictive mathematics. I mean, we made a lot of money after we threatened to cut his fingers off, you know?
Which side do you think his loyalties are going to come down on?
I don't even know which side his loyalties were on when he worked for us. Look, his alliance with the family was one of convenience, as in it was convenient for us to let him keep both of his hands intact, as long as he would tell us the probability of what fights could be won, and not only that, what fights could be intentionally lost without looking suspicious. That allowed us to refine our betting strategies and organizational patterns here. But that kind of brilliance comes at a cost. He's not really human in the way that you and I think about it. He's closer to Seth than anybody I think wants to admit.
You're starting to sound like my stage persona.
Look, have you spent time with him?
Not a lot, I'll admit. Do you want me to
I mean,
have a
if you
run at him?
listen to
See if I
him,
can
he
feel
talks
out where he's
about
at?
he talks about the way of the clans and how he's following it and how he's part of this clan, but we're not a clan. He seems to be trying to mold Saya into something clannish, and yet he loves the freedom that the Inner Sphere offers him to do whatever the hell it is that he does. He has an agenda that I don't think anybody's sorted out or has cared to sort out. Either that or he's just pure impulse. He just does whatever he feels like in the moment. I honestly can't tell you. He's crazy. He's batshit crazy. He's cracked. That man is cracked. Something deeply flawed lies within him. Have you listened to him talk? It just sounds evil all the time.
Do you want me to see if I can find out which way his loyalties are leaning right now?
Listen, the last time you decided to get involved in investigating people, it led to, I don't know, my boss getting shot in the face yesterday. Maybe you should leave investigations to, like, private eyes. You know, they're watching you. They see your every move. Maybe you don't need to do this in person, Hunter. You're putting a lot of people at risk.
I was just gonna try to see if we had an ally or someone else we had to worry about.
I don't know. If you're in charge of this keep everybody safe unit, okay? If you think you can use Ro, then talk to Ro. If you can't, then maybe put him on the something happens to him list.
You've given me a lot to think about, and you're putting a lot of responsibility on me. I'll try not to let you down.
All right, Zuri tosses back the rest of her beer and then goes to, you know, Kobe it into the garbage can and more like shacks it. I feel really bad. Shaq tries hard. Someone was talking shit about him on Twitter, and Shaq absolutely burned them so bad. It was great. All right, anyway. Yeah, she's done talking with you if you're done talking.
I'm done talking. I'll save some RP for the end of the episode. We'll do a scene with Ro at the end.
Okay.
I am ready to show up to my interview.
Okay. Yeah, it's a big times for you. You know, when you're in class 6, every battle is a rank battle, and as rank 100, you know, you have to win here or you get challenged by someone who isn't even a Solaris Gladiator for your spot. William is seated. He's got on a little bit more makeup than usual, and he's wearing what I can only describe as Wakanda River Village clothes.
Okay.
From the Marvel movies. He's absolutely fucking rocking it. Looks like a king sitting there, and it's just like, I'm joined once again by Hunter MacGregor.
Hunter comes in, you know, full dress kilt, beret, kilt pins. William?
Hunter, recently there has been some controversy surrounding you and your association with the Northwind Highlanders. Several weeks ago, in the cemetery surrounding Ewan LeBrain's grave, a massive mech-sized sword was driven into the ground behind his headstone, and there are those who are calling it the Masterless Blade. No one from the Northwind Highlanders has any comment on when or how this weapon was placed there or what they intend to do with it, although the local groundskeeper is understandably upset. What can you tell me about this ongoing situation?
It's a private matter of honor. I can't discuss it publicly.
Okay. What can you discuss with us today, Hunter MacGregor, since you're starting to sound a lot like your good friend Kyle Morgan?
Well, I would like to speak very highly of my friends at Fulcher Industries, who have been helping to keep my mech back together, and some friends that they've introduced me to, the Donegals of the Leonine Armed Forces. I'd like to give a shout out to my fans there and tell them that I hope they'll very much enjoy my my performance in the Unlimited class.
Okay.
I think that my mech was made for this.
Give me 2d6 plus corporate.
2d6 plus corporate.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're rolling media influence or contract negotiation, something.
Oh
No.
I am gonna use my edge.
My God. To expend a point of edge on this? Well, I mean,
10.
if you're gonna use a point of edge, I hope corporate's not your -1, is it?
It is not my -1.
Okay. Yeah. So somewhere in a bar, a guy with a I forget what they're called, but it's like a cap with a beanie on top, is sitting there with a beer, just like, I was a veteran of the Donegal Guards once. I like what that man has to say. I was looking for a replacement mech for my daughter's Sweet 16. I'll buy one of them Fulcher Industries mechs. All across the inner sphere, Donegal guards awaken to the sounds of Hunter MacGregor saying reasonable things about them and Fulcher Industries, and Fulcher sees a slight uptick in stuff being bought.
Excellent.
Yeah, so William adjusts, his sleeves and says, so, about your move to Class 6, you have not had a lot of motion in your previous class. What makes you think Class 6 is going to allow you to move forward? You're talking about the best of the best in the inner sphere.
I think that Class 6 really is more geared to the fighting style that I like to pride myself in. More close-up work, more melee work more spectacular moves.
Okay. There are some who say that when, not if, you lose this match, that your career on Solaris is over, that no one is going to take you seriously again.
Watch me in the arena, William, and we'll talk.
I'm contractually obligated to watch your match, so yes, but what would you say to your detractors? You want them to watch you in the arena.
Exactly. See how I handle myself, and then we'll see what happens from there now, won't we?
Have you fought in the jungle before?
I have not.
What are your plans to overcome the jungle's limited sightlines and high amount of cover versus your mech's build, which largely involves either long-range shooting or close-range maneuvering, neither of which you will get a lot of opportunity to do on an arena like this?
My plan is to get in close and not let my opponent slip away.
Okay. Is there anything else you'd like to say to your fans, your investors?
No, William, I'm going to leave my talk for the arena.
All right. So you enter the arena. Is this a new build for you?
It's the same build that I have been rocking for the last 2 matches. But
Okay.
it's the first time it's been seen in a Solaris match.
Okay, so it's hard for me to remember who has what mech.
Yeah, so I did
basically.
the Underground Fight Club with it, and then I did the private battle with the Highlanders with it.
So your opponent comes out in a mech that is very clearly, it's not quite a Franken mech, but it is hand built. By Bander Mechworks. It is the Bandersnatch 01A. So you're looking at 2 LB10s, 3 LRM5s, 4 forward-facing medium lasers, and 2 rear medium lasers. All on an XL Fusion engine. And this thing, it looks pretty nasty. I mean, it has that kind of rounded edge shape that you only get from hand-worked parts rather than mass-produced. As the mech stomps out, everybody's like, oh, what is this? We've never seen this mech before. And the pilot pops out of the cockpit and walks to the top of the mech wearing a full suit of chainmail and a tabard with a sort of white city on the tabard, and lays a greatsword in front of him and says, Lords and ladies, I, Lamorak, return once again to fight on your behalf. I am an honorable and just man, and I hope that my opponent will be equally honorable and just. I beseech you, Hunter MacGregor, to join me in my pledge against weapons of lethality within the arena. With the advent of the return of Gauss rifle technology and the introduction of the clan extended range particle projectile cannon, the past 3 years have seen more gladiators slain in their cockpits than we have seen in the previous 100. You yourself have, whether by choice or by accident, slain more than a few within your hands. Will you not join me by disabling your Gauss rifle and pledging never again to use such weapons within this arena, to always fight with honor and strive for equality and justice on the battlefield with fellow competitors rather than enemies?
So, Hunter's hearing this happening backstage and comes, roaring out with his band.
Sure.
And he's, with his new persona, because now he's an outsider. He's really laying it on thick. He's got a smoke machine. His lasers are firing. He's got confetti cannons going off. And he goes out on the field and he grabs his mic and says, "For those of you who don't know me, I am Hunter MacGreggor.
You hear a lot of boos in the crowd.
I come from Northwind, and I represent the Highlanders. Today, you will see the power of Northwind, the power of Fulcher Industries, and the power of Apex Dragons. People came here for a show, and they're going to see my full complement that my mech can field."
So you see your opponent in his single spotlight atop his back slam his greatsword down atop it, and then sheath it on his back as he struggles down the side and gets into the cockpit and begins taking all of his chainmail and costuming off, disappointed by your answer.
Yeah, I'm not a clan. I don't need to bid down in order to show up here.
This is a Donegal Broadcasting Company news alert.
Control initiative. 8.
5.
Okay, you get to pick any of the 6 walls to come in at.
Oh, okay. I will come in from this wall.
Sure. I mean, but go ahead and place.
And I come in within 3 hexes.
3 hexes of the wall, yeah.
Okay. And
Works for me. Alright. Roll initiative.
8.
Okay, I don't move.
What are we apart? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I got 13 hexes.
Sounds right.
All right. 2. Interesting. And where is... Are we... Oh. Why did it not pick my thing up? Okay. All right. I am going to jump to here, facing this way.
Okay, you guys can't see each other.
Yep.
Alright. Doing anything in the shooting phase?
Not this round, no.
All right. 6.
9.
Okay, he stays standing still.
You're just gonna be difficult like that. Okay, fine.
You literally have a TSM hatchet mech, and you are retreating.
Well, I was hoping I could draw him out a little bit more, but
He stands
right.
his ground, man.
Yep.
It's like Florida up in here.
All right. Let me just see if I did this correctly. So if I go,
You have all sorts of problems starting with cutting through that hex.
yep. All right, I am going to jump to here. Oh, not there. One back.
Okay, by my read, you still can't see each other.
We can't see each other. That's correct.
All right. So Lamorak just waits silently.
Okay.
The crowd is literally just like, what the fuck is Hunter MacGregor doing? People are like, so because it's not the Lyran arena, because it's not the Steiner arena, they have to be seated like a kilometer away, but you can see on the holo panels everywhere that people are like throwing stuff at the monitors. They're booing. They're just watching you jump in circles in the woods as Lamorak just waits patiently for you, and they're like, boo.
Okay. Initiative.
Sure. This is the round. 6.
9.
Okay. If you're less than, he just waits.
Okay. 1, 2, 3.
Okay. Seven hexes, huh? All right, I'm gonna unload with 2 AC-10s and 3 LRM-5s. We'll build 10 feet. Follow that up with 3 medium lasers. Nope, we'll do 4. We'll go for the full frontal alpha strike. All right, so I see. Okay. 6 pellets hit. First one is center torso.
Hold on. Okay, center torso.
Give me those good dice. Got right leg,
Right leg.
right torso,
Right torso.
right arm,
Right arm.
center torso,
Center torso.
through armor critical.
Of course it is.
With no crit. So still a center torso hit.
Okay.
Second LB10 is a hit. 8 hit. First one is center torso.
Center torso. Got it.
I don't see anything spicy in there. Right torso.
Right torso.
Center torso.
Center torso.
Right leg.
Right leg.
Right leg.
Right leg.
Right torso.
Right torso.
Left torso.
Left torso.
Right arm.
Right arm.
Okay, so you've taken, what, 14 so far?
Sounds right.
Okay. That is a hit. Three missiles hit. Right torso.
Right torso for 3. Got it.
3 missiles hit. Right arm.
Right arm for 3. Got it.
Four missiles hit. Left arm.
4 missiles left arm.
Definitely.
Yep.
These are not very likely to hit. But he will show you his thunderous anger. And number 4, no. Okay. Alright. That's it.
Okay. I am going to shoot Goss and Goss and ER large. And I start at 3. Both are in short range, and you didn't move, so I should be hitting 3s.
Looking for those double ones.
Uh,
So what are you firing?
Goss and ER large.
Okay.
Goss first.
You shoot him in the head and kill him, man. Yep, that's it.
Oh my god!
He's dead. He literally complained about this exact thing, and then you just fucking killed him. Yeah. You eliminate him, and the crowd is just fucking shocked. Literally 30 seconds ago, he gave a speech on this exact thing that you just did. Alright. You find yourself back in the interview room with William. Now, you didn't guarantee victory per se.
I did not guarantee victory.
But you still get one beautiful experience point.
Mm-hmm.
William is just shocked and says, Hunter, I think everybody in the inner sphere is going to want to know, was that intentional?
It was not intentional, William, but when you step into the ring, then these things can happen. My mech is built to dish out a certain amount of pain. I highly recommend that anyone who wants to face me should make sure they have a good ejection system.
Your opponent spoke about a growing concern on Solaris about the number of weapons that can instantly decapitate an enemy. Now, of course, for years, the weapon to be feared was the Pontiac AC-20. Specifically the one used by Justin Shang Allard during his run quite effectively to remove his opponent's heads. But such a weapon, of course, carries great risk. You have to get in a close range. There's movement to be allowed for. With the advent of Gauss rifles, targeting computers, and clan ERPPCs, and the continued increasing skill of gladiators, you have no concerns along the lines of Sir Lamorak, or as we knew him, David McIntyre.
I've resigned myself that every time I come into the ring, that could be the last time that I entertain you. But these matches are nothing if we fear death. Every one of us who gets into a mech knows that, in all likelihood, someday we're not going to go home. That's just the way it is.
Hunter, will you take the Inner Sphere Steel pledge to not use clan technology?
This does interest me. I have been very seriously considering that because I ride a mech that is definitely all inner sphere. I forsake the as much as it would be interesting to put a clan engine in this. I feel that would diminish the skill that I have. Yes, I would be willing to take the pledge of inner sphere steel.
Okay, roll 2d6 plus entertainment because you just made a controversial or political statement, and fuck, has it been a while since we rolled one of these, man?
Oh, is that would that be controversial?
It's political.
Okay, I suppose it is. That's
Hey,
8.
You can reduce stress by 1 or gain 1 glory.
I will take the glory.
Okay. When you commit to the Inner Sphere Steel pledge, several people who only watch for Inner Sphere only matches, including, as we see, Amos Everett, aka Ivan Asonko, in his apartment watching your match, tipping a beer to you when you take the pledge. Your estimation in the eyes of your colleagues and your fans rises.
Excellent.
But if a similar pledge was to be made, Mr. MacGregor, in regards to the Solaris Civic Council and the banning of Gauss rifles and clan ERPPCs, any weapon which could be used to instantly eliminate a gladiator, you would not take that pledge.
I don't see how I could.
Even if everyone else did.
If not from, well, I don't think that I could field the type of mech that I'm a brawler. Any single one of my punches, and especially my hatchet, does more damage than an ERPPC.
So you're saying your mech is specifically designed to eliminate enemy pilots?
It's specifically designed to eliminate enemy mechs. As I said, any pilot who faces me should make sure they have a good auto-eject system.
Okay. Is there anything else you'd like to add to this, Hunter?
No, William, I believe, well, yes, I believe that,
Is it no or is it yes?
My for those who say that that my career is over, well, just look how I handled myself in the ring today. Thank you, William.
Okay. You are now rank 100 and
I thought I was ranked 100.
no, sorry, not 100. Sorry. I'm I'm reading the page number I'm looking at in Total Warfare in regards to the mining drill for something else. Whether it's affected by TSM or not. Which, by the way, is page 146. You're now ranked 97, having taken Sir Lamorak's spot.
Excellent.
And you're no longer at threat of being instantly eliminated.
I want to do the bookkeeping first, and then so I only took superficial armor damage, so therefore with mech tech that would be automatic.
Okay.
I didn't take any pilot damage, so I should be all green checks going in. That'll make the investors happy. I'm going to
not spending money on people. Yeah.
I'm going to train with Brody, so I will reduce 1 stress and gain 1 experience.
Okay.
So that will put me at 2 stress, no meat, 2 glory, 4 XP going into the next rank, and rank 97. And then Hunter is going to go back to his hotel room, pick up his special folder, which has some key sections highlighted.
Yeah.
And go find Ro.
Ro is fishing down by the docks. A very specific dock we've seen several times. He pulls out a turkey sandwich and a beer for you.
Hunter takes the beer and says, "No thanks. I've already eaten, but I'll gladly stand around with you."
He gestures to an empty chair next to him. There's also a rod.
So Hunter kind of has one of those little folding picnic tables and just sets that down and sets his folder on top of it, which has certain key bets highlighted, and says, "One of the hardest things to accept was just how many of our own were involved, or at least profiting off the whole thing. You still being here is a surprise to me, given how many of the newcomers suddenly left once all this came to light."
So he takes a sip of beer and says, "Your problems began long before you ever hired me, and your people sought me out rather than the other way around. I think I'm hardly the one to blame for your situation, Hunter."
"I'm not blaming you. I'm just surprised, given that most of the people that were involved or profiting..."
I am not a member of the Dark Caste bandits who infiltrated your group. Nothing I've done is illegal, per se. Directly. Flash back to him on the docks as a body was thrown right where Hunter is sitting just hours ago. You could be charged for association, sure, but as the primary on any crimes? None.
"I've heard that the head of the organization that was causing us so much trouble has been eliminated."
He looks surprised and says, "Really? I think you'll find that information is in error."
"Interesting."
As far as I know, Martin Bialystok is still alive.
Does Hunter know that name?
Yeah, that's the head of the Bertoli Mafia.
Oh, okay.
Well, you said the head of the organization.
Okay. Not quite that high up the head. The sub organization that was our friend Yuri. Yuri is no longer with us.
I would not have called Yuri a friend.
So the question that comes down, Mr. Rowe.
Just Rowe. Doctor, if you prefer, although I don't.
Where do you fit now?
He reaches into his pocket, pulls out a Fancy Clan notebook computer, and slides it over to you.
Is there something on the screen?
When you turn it on, it is his contract with Apex Dragons, laid out by Kyle Morgan in great detail as to his duties.
Mm-hmm.
He is technically have been hired as a assistant mech tech, which he technically carries out in literal truth.
Mm-hmm. I'm worried that the storm isn't over, Ro. You're an observational chap.
I feel like as you're saying this, the theme from The Godfather starts playing very softly in the background. But keep going.
um, so I honestly, Hunter was like waiting to see if he said something back when Hunter says, you know, you're an observational chap. If no answer's forthcoming, then he says, kind of pushes a little. Says, some of us are worried that Yuri Dayan is just the first body. We're worried that the Botolis will cover their tracks. What's your thought on that? As a study of human nature.
This is actually an amazing background track for this conversation. He says, "You're wrong, Hunter. Are you a student of history?"
Honestly, I was never that good on the book learning. Outside of engineering, I didn't have a whole lot of patience for the rest.
He reaches into the chest and pulls out an orange and a paring knife and begins peeling it and says, "Perhaps you'd like something like this while I talk for a little bit." And hands you a split 8-way orange.
Hunter picks up a piece.
I am a student of the remembrance. The storm you speak of never ends. Violence will always perpetuate violence. Grudges are carried between bloodhouses. The clans never forget and rarely forgive. The inner sphere has fallen so much farther than us, while the clans have advanced society greatly, in my estimation. But they do lack some of the more exotic pleasures of the inner sphere. You people are barbarians. You'll continue killing each other for generations over the smallest slights. If you're asking for my tactical estimation of the situation, I believe that Ivan has eliminated Yuri in order to gain power. And I believe that Ivan is such a unpredictable and thus far not particularly clever individual, having been discovered by you in your spare time, that there's no way he could still be alive at this moment unless someone else was taking the leash for him. I don't know how much you know of his background, but Kyle Morgan has become deeply involved in the organization of the organization. I think you might find that Kyle... Yeah.
Hunter's eyes get really big at that.
You get big brain by him and he slides you another slice of the orange. I think you'll find that Kyle Morgan will be gaining more and more power within the stable as of late. His bondsman turned house warrior as the stable manager. Kyle has the leash on your attack dog. Half of the active gladiators now answer to him. I don't think Kyle is against using violence to get what he needs to. And I think that Ivan is using Kyle as much as Kyle is using Ivan. Neither of them have the sort of complete personality to be the boss. It's like that TV show, you know, Who's the Con?
I do like that show.
I found it to be almost representative of clan values. I don't like that we're always the butt of the joke, but better than that movie Highlander. You know, the one with William Wallace, not the one with the swords. Kyle Morgan is an extremely dangerous individual. He has power. And if he is still alive by this time tomorrow, I think that means that his estimation in the world is rising.
I'm confused as to what his connection with the Bertolis would be. I mean, he doesn't need the money.
I think you'll find that he does need the money. His family is not so wealthy as he has portrayed himself as, but more importantly, his brother is getting married to an associate of the family. A daughter of the true-blooded Bertolis. You spheroids can get so attached to your marriage rituals, your purveyance of goods and splitting up of them and your corporations and such. It's all very complicated and difficult for me to understand, but it's clear cut that there's a connection there.
Zuri thinks they're going to move against us.
Zuri is...
seek to eliminate us.
I think that might be a bit hasty. Ivan might kill you, for sure. I mean, you did reveal him, after all. It may be wise to kiss the ring of the new capo.
This was an eye-opening conversation, Ro.
I simply intend to serve my clan.
I'm sure you figured out by now that most of my... and that by this point he's just completely lost the accent.
Yeah.
He can't, after the big reveal about Kyle, like, he can't stay in character anymore.
I've already read your real personnel file, Hunter. You don't need to play pretend with me, he says as he slides another orange slice over to you.
I'm sure you figured out that most of my anti-clan bluster's just playing for the crowds.
I don't care.
You have a
Even if you are just
perspective.
playing for the crowds, know that there is no true clansman who would treat you any differently, whether it was true or false, Bluster.
You have a unique perspective, and I'd be...
Yes, they will all hate you for what you have said. Because lying...
They all hated me anyway. I'm from Northwind.
He says, yes, but now they will go out of their way to make an example of you. You will be a bondsman to no one.
I don't think I would have made a very good bondsman anyway. It's probably better this way. I don't think I've got the temperament for it.
There are many who have said that. Most of them commit bondsref. I think you would have been an excellent blood spirit.
I have no idea what that is, but...
It's like a fire mandrel, but more blood spirity.
Hunter just nods, having no idea the words
Good.
that
Excellent.
the last 15
Perfect.
words that Ro has said. think we should talk more often, Ro, assuming the two of us survive this.
I expect I'll be perfectly fine, Hunter. You're the one who causes issues with other people. What crimes have I committed? Who have I upset? I will, however, be here, there, or wherever you need me to.
Well, we'll see how this all shakes out, I guess. Thank you for the enlightening afternoon. And
Arrivederci, Hunter MacGregor.
Hunter takes his empty beer bottle, tosses it in the trash can on the corner, and heads back.
The camera just zooms in on one half of a peeled orange as you walk away. The sounds of the tail end of the theme of The Godfather playing.
Excellent.
You know what the orange represents, right?
I'm assuming it's, the scene where what's his name steals the orange from the guy as...
I never seen where there's an orange in The Godfather. The person holding it dies.
Excellent. Excellent. I had forgotten that part.
They represent death.
Excellent.
Why are you saying excellent? He just handed you an orange.
Yeah,
Maybe it
why
was
not?
cinematic, but maybe he's seen The Godfather. He's warning you, Hunter.
Okay.
Anything
Who
else
else
you want
has
to do?
matches Who else has matches this week?
Almost everybody. Tomorrow is Spoon, and Thursday is Kane. We had to move him around because theoretically Gen Con wants me on Friday again.
Okay. So neither Cosmo nor Killbilly have matches this week.
Hillbilly is next week.
Okay.
At 3 p.m.
Okay.
on Wednesday. So the same time spot, but Wednesday.
Okay. Yeah, no, that's it for me. Thank you. This was a lot of fun. I'm interested to see if how well Hunter survives all of this. Unfortunately, it looks like I'm gonna have to move my plotting and planning to Gladiator chat and not have it on camera. But
you don't think you can just show up on people's streams and just be like, "Oh, hey, I'm here for 5 minutes"?
I mean, I would, but I feel like the next people that he would talk to would be Cosmo or Hillbilly, and if neither one of them are on till next week, then I'm assuming the storyline will move forward without Hunter by then.
Well, we'll see. Put
see.
out whatever.
Yeah, how
To the other gladiators. Maybe they'll have something for you.
we shall see. We shall see. Cool.
Nothing else then?
That's all I got.
All right. Friends, thank you for joining us. Have a good afternoon. And I don't know, if you're watching this on Premiere, make sure to come spam Discord with how much you liked it. Have a good afternoon.